Welcome to Le Grand Voyage with Château Malartic La Gravière. For almost 80 years, one of the most loved radio programmes in Britain has been Desert Island Discs. Guests are asked to choose 8 recordings, as well as a book and a luxury item, to keep them company on a desert island. People regularly choose wine as their luxury, and they regularly choose Bordeaux. But in 2003, the singer Gene Pitney took 8 records, including Roll Over Beethoven by Chuck Berry, The Giant Book of Mensa Puzzles, and a case of Opus One wine. Some claim, and I've looked into this, that it's the only non-European wine choice in the history of the show, except it's not entirely non-European. Opus One was founded in 1978 as a joint venture between Baron Philippe de Rothschild of Chateau Mouton Rothschild and Robert Mondavi. Together they wanted to create a single Bordeaux-style blend based on Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. The blended geographical origins were in its original name. It was originally called Napa Medoc until 1982 when it became Opus One. And the blend has won legions of high-profile fans. Mariah Carey's backstage rider insists that she has Opus One on hand. I remember selling a bottle once to Rod Stewart and Rachel Hunter back in the early 1990s. What drives Bordeaux's winemakers to make wine far from home is really sort of praise of celebrities. The Bonny family, the owners of Château Malartic La Gravière, they were looking to explore new terroirs, new styles. They bought a 130-hectare block of land, it's about 320 acres, right in the heart of the Uco Valley. It's a pristine environment south of the city of Mendoza in Argentina, and it's named after an ancient Amerindian king, Uco. The setting couldn't be further from Bordeaux. The valley is over 1,000 metres high, and it sits in the shadow of the Andes within the site of the Maipu volcano, not far from Mount Aconcagua, the tallest mountain in the Americas. And yet, Bordeaux varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon thrive here, and Malbec, almost lost to Bordeaux, excels here. South America has been a place that has drawn many of Bordeaux's finest winemakers, like the Bonny family. Pierre Lurton of Chateau Cheval Blanc, he discovered a vineyard called Las Compuertas. It was planted with Malbec in Mendoza in 1929. He recalls being immediately captivated and declaring, "This will be a journey to the roots of Bordeaux." It's a fascinating perspective. Much of Bordeaux's own Malbec was finally grubbed up after the frosts of 1956. There's almost nothing left today. Pierre wanted to bring yesterday's Bordeaux wines back to life, to reconnect Chateau Cheval Blanc with the history of Saint-Emilion via Mendoza. It's a bit like discovering a long-lost cousin or even a sibling who's settled and made a new life for themselves on the other side of the world. The Domaine Baron de Rothschild, most famous for Chateau Lafite Rothschild, they've invested in both sides of the Andes. In Argentina, they make wine with the Catena family, perhaps Argentina's most celebrated producer. Caro was described by Baron Eric de Rothschild as an association between 2 cultures, 2 families and 2 noble grapes. Again, Malbec and Cabernet Sauvignon. On the other side of the Andes, in Chile, is Los Vascos. This is a site the family bought in 1988, named in honour of the Basque founders. They were one of the many European families who travelled to Chile to make wine for an emerging wealthy class in the 19th century. But they haven't stopped there. After crossing the Andes, the family have now moved to the other side of the Pacific Ocean. Domaine Long Dai is a Grand Cru wine made in the foothills of the Quishan Valley from Shandong province in northeastern China. It isn't just an investment in a new terroir, it's an investment in the future of wine as the world's largest nation takes to wine drinking with gusto. But producers are looking at wine's roots as well as its future. The Tokai region in Hungary introduced a classification system more than a century before Bordeaux, but it was almost wiped out by communism. Not long after the fall of communism in 1993, Chateau Pichon Baron in Pauillac bought Dijnoko in Tokai. Dijinoko translates as the rock of the wild boar, was first recorded in 1413. The name refers to a large rock at the top of a small hill overlooking the vineyards. The estate was listed as a first growth as far back as 1732, and it's long been regarded as one of the region's finest producers. Chateau Pichon-Baron reinvigorated the site. They invested in the facilities and built a new eye-catching winery, this time not making dry red wine, but making sweet and dry whites. Anyway, tomorrow we will be back in Bordeaux, so join us again for more stories with Le Grand Voyage and Chateau Malartic La Gravière. I'll see you then.